Shalom, Yasharala. Just reading. A meek servants read alone. I'm just reading. I want to start off by saying I give all honor and glory to Abba Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Amashiach, Barakatai, the Hawada for the Rakah Kwadash, the Hawada for our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaquab, the Hawada for the house of King David, the Howard for the men of David, the house of David, the third temple, the third house, the third building, the house of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the hopeful elect, the 144,000. That's out there in the highways and the byways doing this work in sincerity and in truth, presenting their bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Abba Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Mashiach Barakatai. The Howard for the Yaikwat and the children of Yasharala. Shalom. Just reading. This is a meek service read along. Just reading. These be the words which Masha spake unto all Yasharala on this side of Jordan in the wilderness. In the wilderness. In the wilderness. These be the words which Masha spake unto all Yasharallah on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Topol and Laban and Hazaret and Dizahab. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 10. For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect. To make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. Okay? Through sufferings. For both he that sanctified and they who are sanctified are all of one. You see? For which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren, saying, I will declare thy name. Thy name, Yahweh. He is, he exists, he is to be. Unto my brethren. You see? In the midst of the church. In the midst of the church. Church to call out, will I sing praise unto thee? You see? That's what's going on in the church. Who's the church? Who is the church? Who is the church? Acts 7 and 38. This is he. The he is Yahweh Shai, a Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, who's a so-called black man. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness. We read Deuteronomy 1 and 1. We started off. Israel was in the wilderness. Israel is the church, Yasharallah. We open up with Deuteronomy 1 and 1. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in what? In the Mount Sinai and with our fathers. You see? Who received the lively oracles to give unto us. You see, Yasharallah, Israel, you so-called blacks, so-called African Americans. You see, so-called Latinos and Native Americans, West Indies, with Indian, Taino, Negro descent by the pedigree, by the seed of your fathers. You are who your father is. Numbers 1:18. The church is the Israelites. 12 tribes. Yasharallah. Let's be repetitive. Acts 7:38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai. You see? And with our father, the him is Masha, who received the lively oracles. You see? The law, statutes, commandments, and judgments and testimonies to give unto us, to whom our fathers would not obey. And that's going into the 2/3 club of Yasharallah, right? But trust him from them, and in their hearts, your mind turn back again into Egypt. Okay? All right? So don't turn back into Egypt. It's time to come up out of Egypt. It's time to repent and be in the void conversion of salvation. It's only to Yasharallah. It behooves Yahweh Shai Mashiach to die for Yasharallah. Hebrews 2:12, saying I will what? Saying I will what? Saying I will declare thy name. We will have the name. We got the name unto my brother. You see, his brother, meaning his kinsman according to the flesh, right? Paul told you that in Romans 9:3-4, 5-6. In the midst of the church will I sing praise unto thee. And again, I will put my trust in him. Put your trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Yasharallah. Put your trust in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Put your trust in Abba Yahweh and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Yahweh Shai is our Passat. Yahweh Shai is our atonement. Yahweh Shai is our Tall Akim from the tribe of Yahweh, from the nation of Yasharallah. Yahweh Shai, a Mashiach, the great deliverer, the great redeemer, the anointed. You see, a Mashiach means anointed one. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which Yahweh had given me. Okay, so going to the elect. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through that he might destroy him. Who's the him? Esau, Edom. Esau is the dead man, Israel. That through that he might destroy him. Him that had the power of death, that is the devil. And the word devil in the Latin it go into the word diablos. It means slanderer and false accuser, deceiver. Right? In the Greek, it go into the word diablos. The power of debt. The power of debt. Okay? So Yahweh Shai will destroy the power of debt. Okay? He's coming in his glory. Right? Now let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians 15:26. Just reading. The Most High said the last enemy that shall be destroyed is debt. We just read that. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is debt. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is debt. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is debt. Yasharala. Just reading. Second Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world. Who's the last enemy to rule? For Esau is the end of the world. Who's the last enemy to rule? For Esau is the end of the world. And Yaquab and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Revelations chapter 6 and verse number 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. You see, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death. Esau, that pale horse. He's that pale face. No melanin, no pigmentation. The curse of Cain. He's the 666. He's incomplete. No melanin, no pigmentation. He's red. His blood show forth through his skin. He's pale, pale face. You see? And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. Esau Edom, Idumea, your lover. And hell is the condition followed with him. That condition followed death. You see, that bad condition, the condition, hell, it followed with the death with him. And power was given unto them. You see? Over what? The fourth part, the new world. The new world. North, South America, and the surrounding islands, the land of Orsarit. The fourth hemisphere, the new world, the fourth hemisphere, North and South America. That's your new world and your surrounding islands. Island of Hispaniola, of the earth, to kill with sword. To kill with sword. The dead man gonna do what? To kill with sword, Yasharala? Figure it out. What's going on in the earth? War and war. Who's doing it? The dead man. The dead man. War going on right now. Who's doing it? The pale face. The dead man. You know who it is. You know the dead man is real. And with hunger, you see, they getting ready to starve you out with what? With hunger. ready to starve you out. Yasharala, the dead man. He is the dead man. And what a dead man gonna do? He gonna what? Starve you out. You see? Kill with sword. He was blessed with the sword, right? Genesis 27, 39, and 40. He will rule by the sword. He will rule by the sword. That's how he ruled the earth, Israel. With the sword, with destruction. He's the son of perdition, right? And with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. You see? These other kingdoms. The beast is dealing with these other kingdoms, Yasharallah. I'm just reading. Just reading, Yasharallah. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death. Who going to destroy the Edomite? Who going to destroy Esau Edom? Who going to destroy the last enemy? Yahweh Shah Mashiach. But you got these Israelite camps. They trying to kick it off. You see? But let's see what the Bible says. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me. What Yahweh Shai say? What did our tall Akim say? What did our King of Kings, Elohim of Elohim, Alpha and Omega say? What did Yahweh Shai Mashiach say? Therefore wait ye upon me. So Yahweh Shai said, wait for me to come. Wait for me to return. Wait for me to crack the sky with the chariots as a whirlwind and the clouds. You see? Yahweh Shai say, wait for me, guys. Okay? Therefore, wait ye upon me, said the Elohim, until the day that I rise up to the prey. Who's the prey? The last enemy, which is death. You see? The last enemy, which is death. The last enemy, which is death. For my determination is to gather the nations, because Israel, to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation. Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. I'm just reading. Meekservants read along, you see? Just read it, Israel. I want to be repetitive. Hebrews 10, 2 and 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him. You see? That had the power of death. That is the devil. You see, the deceiver. And deliver them through fear, you see, of death, were all their lifetime subject to bondage. That's going into the gospel, subject to bondage. That's going to the gospel. good tidings, good news for those that's in bondage. I'm just reading Israel, Yasharallah. The spirit of the Elohim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is upon me, Israel, because the Elohim had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. Because the meek shall what? Inherit the earth, right? Matthew 5:5, the new heaven, the new earth. That's what the meek go inherit after World War III, after the fire, after the debt, the last enemy is put out by Yahweh Shah Mashiach. He has sent me to what? To bind up the brokenhearted. That goes those that's in captivity, the captors, heart to brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison. The opening of the prison. You see, because America is one big prison. Israel, USA is a prison. You in prison, spiritually and physically. And the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Elohim, you see? And the day of what? Of vengeance. Zephaniah 2 and 8. We just read that in the book of Hebrews 2 and 10 and 12 and 14 of our Yahweh Bashan to comfort all that mourn. We mourning, Yasharallah, the elect is mourning, and the 144,000 is mourning. Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Yashalom, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night, day nor night, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Elohim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Mashiach, keep not silence. Keep not silence. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 8. And it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, Aha, Elohim, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, will I destroy all the residue of Yasharallah and the pouring out of the fury upon Yasharim? Ezekiel 96, the Most High say, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man or woman upon whom is the mark Tawah exemption, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men that were before the house. So if you got that Tawah, that means you've been signing crime of all the abominations. That would make you part of the elect of the house of David. If you sign in crime to Abba Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah and ye been therefore converted and repenting daily and following the ways of Abba Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah well, Yasharallah. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's be repetitive. The Most High say in Isaiah 61:2 to proclaim the acceptable year of the Elohim and the day of vengeance of our Yahweh to comfort all that mourn. See, you got to be mourning. And that's why I went to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, and verse 6, because he say, don't come near those that the mark is upon, meaning the mark of exemption, Tawah, Paleo Hebrew. That's why I went to the book of Isaiah 62:6, because those that's what? Signing, crying, making mention of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua day and night. You would be mourning. See, we mourning. We not happy here. We didn't make Babylon our place of rest, as it's saying Micah 2:10. We understand that Yahushua will prepare a kingdom for us and many mansions for us. See, we believe thus said Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You see, the just shall live by faith. You see? To proclaim the acceptable year, just reading of the Elohim, and the day of vengeance of our Yahweh by Shah to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes. You see? Beauty for ashes. He gonna exchange beauty for the ashes. See, if you in the house of mourning, you've been dealing with ashes and sackcloths and ashes. See, if you in the house of mourning and not in the house of mirth, well, the Most High gonna take your ashes and give you beauty in that day. That's what's going on, Yasharallah. You say the oil of joy for mourning. You see, you say the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Cause we ain't nothing but prisoners of hope. We prisoners of hope, Israel. We prisoners of hope, for faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? Ain't it say that in Hebrews 11:1? For faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. We prisoners of hope. PHO, prisoners of hope. That they might be called trees of righteousness. The men gonna be called trees of righteousness. You see? The planting of the Elohim, that he might be glorified. The Most High planting that seed in us, and we became trees of righteousness through this truth. Through this truth, Yasharallah, becoming trees of righteousness. The book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 12. The Most High say, turn ye to the stronghold, Ye prisoners of hope. We prisoners of hope, Yasharala. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. We prisoners of hope. The just shall live by faith. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee, the Most High say. Going back to Hebrews. I'm going back. Start at 15. And deliver them through fear of debt, you see, were all their lifetime subject to bondage. We've been subject to bondage all our life, Yashavala. We've been catching hell all our lives. For verily he took not on him the nature. See, Yahweh Shah didn't take on the nature of anger, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. Yahweh Shah came in through the seed of man, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the seed of David. That cut out the immaculate conception. You see? You see? That just cut that right on out. He's the seed of Abraham. Seed means sperm. A sperm seed. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Dealing with the seed. You see? You can't come here no other way, Israel, but the pleasure that come with sleep. You gotta have the pleasure that come with sleep, Israel. Don't let them fool you. Don't even let them school you. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them school you. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse number 1. The Most High say, I myself also am a what? Am a mortal man. You see? He's a mortal man, like to all. You know, it behoove you how we try to be like the brother, right? We gonna get that because we going back to Hebrews and we gonna close out. A mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. You see? And in my mother's womb was fashioning to be flesh. While Yahushua was in Miriam's womb, he was being fashioned to be flesh, Israel, through the seed of Joseph, through the sperm seed. In the time of 10 months, you see, Yahushua, in the time of 10 months, he was being compacted in blood, just like we all came in through the pleasure of sleep, Israel, of the seed of man. There you have it. Just cutting out the immaculate conception, Israel. It behoove Yahweh Shai, right? The seed of man and the pleasure that came with sleep. That's sex, right? sex, right? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. You see, the pleasure that came with sleep. That's how Yahweh Shai got here, Israel. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them school you. Okay, let's go back to the book of Hebrews. Let's go back to Hebrew. Don't let them fool you. He ain't gonna make it. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 17. Wherefore, in all things it behoove him. You see, it behoove him. It behoove Yahweh Shah Mashiach, our governor, our prince of peace, our wise counselor, our king of kings, Elohim of Elohim, our Alpha and Omega, our Passat, our atonement, right? To be made like unto his brother. You see, Yahweh Shah wanted to come in the same way his brethren came. That it might be what a merciful and faithful high priest after the order of Melchizedek, right? And the things pertaining to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah Mashiach to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. What sins of the people? Israel, Yasharallah. Yasharala, for in that he himself has suffered, being tempted, he is able to secure them that are tempted. That's why it behoove Yahweh Shai, the sins of the people. And we know 1 John 3 and 4, for sin is the transgression of the law. We get that. We know that. We get that. We know that, Yasharala. Just reading, I'm going to close out here. And I'm going to close out Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Let's start there. The book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 29. Then Peter, you see, that's why I say don't let them fool you. Don't even let them school you. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah rather than men. Don't listen to men, Israel. Obey Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah Mashiach Barakatah, right? You better get away from Pastor Pochop. And the Elohim Yahweh, our Father, raised up Yahweh Shai, whom he slew and hang on a tree. Who known for being slewed and hang on trees, Israel? Do I really have to tell you? Him had Yahweh exalted with his right hand to be a prince, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. It behooved him to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Yasharallah, you see, Israel, and forgiveness of sins. I hope that this meek service read along was edification and exaltation. Shalom.